Hey, Cowboy Nation, this is Cowboys Broad. This is Cowboys Broad. Let's get into some football talk. Let's talk about Alan Hurns. Alan Hurns, by now, everybody, by now, all the Cowboy fans, they know that Alan Hurns is no longer with the organization, with the team. Uh, I'm not going to try to even try to pretend I'm breaking some big news by saying Alan Hurns is no longer with the team. But what I want to talk about is Alan Hurns um, is on the record as being, as you see, this Alan Hurns disappointed with the way the Cowboys handled his release. So Alan Hurns is a bit disturbed as to how the Cowboys handled his situation. Now, let me just first, before I even get into this, let me just first say uh, the uh, the official terminology for release in the NFL is release is the terminology they use when they part ways with the player. Basically, it's your walking papers. It's basically you've been fired. What it basically boils down to, we no longer need you on the team, no longer need you in our organization. We invite you to find another organization, man, to offer your services. And so that's pretty much what it is. And I say all that to say, there's no good way, really, to release a man. Now, there's more professional ways than others. But at the end of the day, there's really no good way to release a man. Because you're really telling the guy, you no longer have a job, we no longer need your services, and so you're gonna have to go find a paycheck elsewhere. And that's a hard pill to swallow. No matter how you div it up, it's a hard pill to swallow. I can take you out to dinner, buy you a steak dinner, buy you a couple beers. And the moment I tell you that, it's gonna ruin your whole damn evening. So I I just say it like that. Now let's get into why Mr. Hurns is disappointed with the way the Cowboys handled his situation. Um, I just wish they did it earlier. They asked me to take a pay cut Monday, a couple of days before camp. So his issues with the timing of his release, and when we asked him to take a pay cut. Um, well, I want to say a few things. I want to say a few things about that. Number one, albeit it's 2 days before training camp, it is before training camp. That means the Cowboys are giving you an opportunity to go to another training camp and find you another job for this upcoming season. Instead of letting you go all the way through our training camp, and then having to, uh, when we release you, having to find someone, try to learn somebody else's playbook. As it stands right now, you can go get with another organization, learn their system, learn their playbook, learn what they want you to do, and have a real opportunity to compete for another job on another team. And so I think really letting Alan Hurns go before training camp was actually a benefit. It was actually a benefit to him. The second thing uh, I want to mention here is that they asked me to take a pay cut. Uh, they asked you to take a pay cut. They asked you to take a pay cut. Well, yeah, that's true. They asked you to take a pay cut, but why? Why they asking you to take a pay cut? You were brought, Alan Hurns was brought in here, um, right in here, and shortly after he was brought in here, we released Dez Bryant, and he was supposed to be our number one or our number two receiver, no less than a number two receiver. Alan Hurns was. We gave him a 2-year deal for $12 million, $6 million a year. That's a nice salary for a number two receiver. But since then, uh, we brought in Amari Cooper and Randy Cobb, and Michael Gallup was coming to his zone, and so most of the Cowboy Nation kind of see those as being locks on the team, as being the top three receivers, which means what goes really to say um, about the best you was going to do on this team is be a number four receiver. And if you're no longer a number two receiver, you can't really expect the Cowboys to continue to pay number two receivers money when they only need you for a fraction of the plays that they originally brought you in here for. In other words, the Cowboys, they want to cut your pay, but they also want to they also want to reduce your workload. Now, according to this, they offered him $2 million. Downward from six, they offered him $2 million. It's a $4 million pay cut, or basically cutting 2/3 of his salary down to a third. Well, they also cutting his plays down. Now that you got Amari, Randy Cobb, you got Pollard coming out of the backfield. We still got to give the ball to Zeke. You just don't have. We got Witten back on the field. We just have more options now. You're not going to have as many plays, and not going to be expected to perform at a level two, at a number two receivers level performance. And so, if they cut your pay by 2/3 and cut your workload by 2/3, I don't really understand what the problem is. Now, if you're looking for a number two receiver's job, then the Cowboys did you a favor, because we don't have one of those positions available. And since we don't have one available, we give you an opportunity to go find one. And so far, I'm not really seeing where the Cowboys. I'm not really seeing where the Cowboys here have really wrong Mr. Hurns here. I really don't. As a matter of fact, after he had his gruesome leg injury, the Cowboys stuck with him, kept him on the roster. Went through our rehabilitation program, and was able to get back, healthy. So we believe. And take full advantage of all of our resources. And we put all our resources at our disposal, at Mr. Hurns' disposal, to ensure that he got back to health. So to say that the Cowboys haven't really been fair to Mr. Hurns would be, in my estimation, inadequate, or just plain wrong. I really think the Cowboys went out of their way to give Mr. Hurns every opportunity to stay on this roster, to include giving him an offer that we could live with, and keep him in the Cowboys uniform. Now, if offering enough money for you, and you think you can go elsewhere and make more money, and the money is really what it's about, then good luck to you. And I hope you do well, Mr. Hurns. But I will say, on the matter is, Alan Hurns is coming off a gruesome, we all know, a terrible ankle injury, ankle snap, really, terrible situation. And we really don't really know if Mr. Hurns is going to actually get back to 100%. Yeah, he's doing well in training. He's running around well and without the pads and all that kind of stuff. But when he get back on the football field and had to carry all that equipment around, on his body, put all that weight on his ankle, and go out and take them hits and make them cut make them cuts and actually truly compete. Will he ever get back to really 100%? We don't know. So that's an operational risk right there that we also have to consider. Sad as it is, part of the business is you have to consider those types of things, as well. Now, while the Cowboys are considering that, I also think that Allen Hurns probably should have considered that before he turned down this deal and decided to go into free agency. Because coming off that leg injury, if he would have stayed with the Cowboys and took this deal, he would have had a year-long interview, pretty much a year-long interview, um, to prove he's worth more money. As it stands right now, no matter who you go to, what team you go to, you're gonna be asking the team to take a chance on your injury, and hope and pray that you're 100% and don't get re-injured. That's some liability on the team that they may or may not be willing to assume. Sometimes you have to consider other factors other than cash when it comes down to these types of situations, and whether or not when you leave an opportunity on the table, sometimes you gotta consider everything. Um, and so uh, I hope that Allen Hurns has done that. I hope he's considered everything, and I hope he wishes him the best. Hope he finds him in another team, a more suitable team for what he's trying to do. I don't really think the Cowboys are any danger in the receiving department. I think we got plenty of receivers that's capable of getting the job done. Wish him well. Anyway, that's all I'm really going to say on the matter. I don't think the Cowboys have done Mr. Hurns wrong, and I don't really see any reason to be disappointed. I don't really see any reason in him being disappointed in how the Cowboys handled this, because in my estimation, I think it was handled. I think it was handled fairly, and I think it's handled professionally. They had this conversation behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, they didn't try to bash him, belittle him in front of the media. They didn't have him go through camp and putting a lot of risk and wear and tear on his body, only to come to him at the end of camp and say, take this chump change or get the hell off my football team. They didn't do none of that. So they gave a reason before training camp start. They gave him an opportunity to go out and find a more suitable team with the kind of position that he wants to apply for. He wants to be a bigger role. He needs to go somewhere and find a bigger role. And I don't really think any of us should feel too much heartburn for Mr. Hurns. If you look at this page right here, what you will find is that the Cowboys that Mr. Hurns throughout the course of his career has earned himself about $15 million. So I don't really think that we're gonna. I don't really think, man, Mr. Hurns, man, should be. I don't really think Mr. Hurns will be at the food pantry anytime soon. I think he'll probably be all right. Probably have enough cash to hold up. But if he don't, damn it, he should. This kind of cash earnings coming through his career, he should have some money left over. If he don't, shame on him. I mean, in the Cowboys, we're gonna take this $5 million savings that we get for releasing Mr. Hurns and put that towards some of our contract extensions. I'm sure. We got Amari Cooper and Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, and Zeke all need to be paid. I mean, when we got some other people coming down the pike we haven't even talked about. People like Byron Jones, Jalen Smith, Anthony Brown go all need deals too. We're going to have to make some tough decisions about whether or not they stay on the roster. That's a conversation for another time. This one's about Alan Hurns. And thank you for the year you spent with the organization, Mr. Hurns. It was good. Really felt like he was coming into a zone before your injury. It's really unfortunate how things worked out for you. Wish you the best in the future. This is Cowboys Broad. I'm out. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for subscribing. And I especially thank you for complimenting. I love the conversation. I appreciate all of y'all. I'm out.